Sleigh Day.
The one and only Sleigh Day Grange.
Apple Valley Grange.
Grange Valley Apples.
Apple Speedway.
Grange Apple Speedway.
Grange Valley Apple.
The one, the only Andy Sleigh Day.
So we went to Andy's Sleigh Day. It was sick. It was hot. I know, dude, my hands are sweating so bad. I actually didn't do too bad.
Yeah, it was intimidating knowing that we were going to be going to one of the biggest events in California.
I don't know about California. It's one of the biggest grassroots driving events at Grange, I would say.
Agreed.
That was our second time at Grange. We're not as good as we should have been going to an event of that size. There were a lot of extremely high tier drivers there.
Ryan Literal was there.
Mike Diaz was there. John Vargas from Angel Motorsports was there. The Beam team was there. There were quite a few. There was another pro driver there driving the Logistic E36. We are not high tier Pro 1, Pro Am drivers at all. And so I was very scared going into the event that we were just going to get absolutely shit on. And there were a couple of times that we did. I'm not going to lie. Daniel was driving. I was in the passenger seat. And there was like, I don't know if it was a...
we pull up. We pull up. They have the red flag out because someone's crashed on the track. So we're sitting there, and then they're like, all right, you get to go. So a bunch of cars go, and then I look behind me, and bam, Ryan Literal's pulling on right behind us onto the track. I'm driving, and I'm like, oh shit.
No, it was gnarlier than that. There was a red car behind us with pop-up headlights. I don't know if it was a 240 or an 8.6. I don't know why, but you drive better under pressure. I haven't figured that out. Like, when Daniel's just driving on the track, having a good time, he does better when someone is on his ass coming up on him. I don't know
I like
why.
accidentally tandem with like 3 people that day, and I don't know
Okay, so anyway,
what was happening.
Anyway, Daniel was hauling. There was some guy on his tail. Whatever it was spun out.
Oh yeah.
And behind him, passing him, is frickin' Ryan Literal. Now, this isn't, hi, nice to meet you, I'm signing autographs, Ryan Literal in the pits. This is Ryan Literal in his built as shit 240 on a drift track, hauling ass behind us, coming up to us. We're in a 200 crank horsepower E36. I'm shitting bricks. It was freaking gnarly. It was probably scarier to me than it was in real life because Ryan Literal's not going to approach us because we suck as drivers. So it was a lot scarier for me. It was scarier for him. It was scarier for him than it was me, and I was the one driving. Literal's dragging his bumper. Who? Literal's dragging his bumper. No, Literal's straight behind us. That last lap, Ryan Literal was literally right behind you.
And I was doing so good on that. I did that first corner, bro.
That first corner was beautiful, dude. Dude, I turn around and he's like half a corner behind us. I can't see any other cars behind him because it's just pure smoke.
Yeah.
It was pretty.
We're right, and I was holding it. I was holding it down. I think I spun out, but at one point I spun out when he was right behind us, and he didn't catch up. But he didn't even get close.
I think he was as scared of us as we were scared.
Well, he was next. He was at 2 corners behind us though when I spun out because I could see him. He was at the first corner. We were on the 3rd corner.
When I saw him, he was like half a corner behind us. Anyway, we probably shouldn't be at an event of this caliber because there are some serious. It was a good time.
I agree and disagree at the same time because we held it down.
We did.
For our skill level and only have been driving for 9 months at a track in general, we did. I think we were in like the top 30 to 40 drivers there because there was a lot of people there that just kind of sucked.
Yeah, we were one of them, dude. We had a good time. We had a good time. I thought we were gonna get crapped on a lot harder than we did at that.
You think we did bad because you crashed?
Hey, you guys are watching Bird Up.
I don't count that as a good.
Yeah, that's what the
dude,
crash.
I wasn't even filming for that. I wasn't even filming for that.
You want to tell them about that?
Ignore me, I'm not even here.
So I was coming up to the first corner, clutch kicked Manji'd right, and then went for the e-brake slide into the first corner. I either initiated too early or I wasn't going fast enough, and I just went off track into a tire wall. That's all.
Just kind of went. You're supposed to go like this and go around. He went like this. into the
So
tire.
like, here's the corner, and I took the corner, but I just went like that, missed the roof. Yeah, I kind of hit a tire wall. Our front plate is on the track somewhere, so that's mint. We'll get it later.
And there's
That was about it.
And the
That was
guy,
the
one of
extent of
the guys coordinating it with Andy, he was like, I saw your trim piece and your license plate over there. You're lucky he didn't hit the freaking fire extinguisher, because that would have been
Dude, they have
bad.
those things all over the track now.
Yeah, well, it's Andy Slay Day. It makes sense.
No, they just have them on the track indefinitely. Like
Oh,
anytime
really?
there's a driving event out there, they have a ton of fire
Well, they did
extinguishers.
last time we went.
No,
They put them out.
They did.
Yeah.
Did they?
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe like 4. There was like 5 of them.
That happened after the Drift Week. That fool burned down his Corvette.
Oh yeah, that was right. We went right after that. I had a great time. This is we probably should have been better going into this event, but I'm glad that we have the skill to be able to go to
I
this
would be
event.
comfortable going
There
to
were
I guess.
3 or 4 drivers there that had never drifted in
They
their
were
life.
way more than I did. They were like
Oh,
12.
I only counted like 4.
saw
I looked to the
12.
left and saw 4 and was like, 4.
When he asked, so we asked on the drivers meeting if they were ready to do drivers. There were like 12 people with their hands up.
Okay, so I saw like 4 or 5.
Yeah.
And
So that actually made me feel a lot better about going out. On
this
track.
is the beginning of the day. Quinn, the whole time, you know, the whole week leading up to this point, because we got the last 2 spots for this event.
Did
Yeah, I talked to Andy and was like, look, trying to drift. I got a car. I got another guy. We drive together. We share a car. And he's like, we usually don't let you guys do this, but pay me a little extra money. You know, cheaper than two more cars, but he ended up letting us have the last 2 spots. As soon as I paid him, he made a post and was like, all spots are taken up.
There were 70 drivers, 75 drivers?
70 to 75. I think there might have been a few more guest drivers that came later. I was expecting pros, but I wasn't expecting pros. Because I'm just not used to seeing pros at these
It was
little
gnarly,
events.
dude. Some of those fools are so freaking good at driving.
Because okay, so
Crazy.
this was our very first actual drift event. Not just drift event at Adams. This is actual drift event.
Like actually, instead of actually just going to a track for a drift day, this is like a
Like
proper
people are coming,
sanctioned
people,
event.
yeah, people are driving out from out of state to come drive this event, and we were able to take part in it, which was super
It was
sick.
cool. It was cool. We trailered the car up this time, so it's like a 2.5, 3 hour drive up there. Driving that drift car up there sucks. That's how we did it the first time. The dirt road up there sucks. And it was like 95 degrees, so it was super freaking hot. And so we just rented a trailer and took it up. We had AC, it was really nice. The dirt road wasn't that bad.
We got to hang out for 3 hours before the event.
Yeah, boy!
You driving
Yeah,
alone
yeah,
and me
yeah.
driving alone. Or
That car is not a fun car to drive up to Grange.
I think that for future events at Grange, we will probably, because it was like $99 for the weekend from where we got our trailer.
Yeah, so when it was all said and done, it was almost $100 to rent the trailer, which was super nice. That's definitely the way to do it coming from San Diego. It was 95 degrees, so it was super hot. That car doesn't have AC, it doesn't have interior, it doesn't have carpets, and it sucks. But it was nice because then we could slay all the tires we brought instead of saving a pair. So last time we went to Grange, we only brought 2 sets of tires. We technically brought 3, but after seeing what Grange does to tires, because that's not a nice track surface,
We only shredded 2.
we only shredded 2 because if you go and drift on that 3rd set we have to drive home on, they're going to be absolutely shredded. So we only drove on 2 sets the first time. This time we brought 4 sets and we were able to slay.
We slayed 3 full sets, and then we drifted on the 4th set, but we didn't pop them, so we were able to put it on the trailer.
Well, we won't be running these tires again. Delaminated after 4 laps.
They're from 2010.
So that completely wrapped itself around the suspension. Very nice. We had more of a delaminating issue more than a popping and shredding tires issue. So
yeah, we were actually, yeah, you're right. I
the first
delaminated the tire, and then I was like, you want me to do it real quick, swap it? And you were like, nah. And I was like, I'll NASCAR, bro. So I did in like a minute.
Yeah.
This tire's probably got 1 or 2 more laps on it too.
What kind of crap is this?
Did you hear me?
Yeah,
That one?
we'll just send it.
Which?
The first set of tires I went on, I got 3 laps out of. 3 or 4 laps, I think.
I think you delaminated.
Yeah, just the driver's side tire, that thing was completely
I was kind of bummed.
delaminated. What do you think some of your pros and cons were?
I think just generally being fluid on track, I was getting a lot of transitions a lot better than I was before, and kind of linking. The new power definitely helped with linking. So this was the first event that we took the car out to since we put the M3 cams and tune on, and it made a huge difference. I was able to link corners that we just simply weren't able to before due to lack of power, and just kind of dragging corners out longer and snappier transitions. It actually didn't take that long to get used to. I thought it was going to be worse.
Yeah, you got used to it. Well, you drove for like an hour before I even got in the driver's seat of that car.
That's fair.
That day.
Well, even still, when we took it out, when we put the M3 cams and I took it out and test drove it,
Oh, yeah.
and I like couldn't drift it. I like spun out every time.
Yeah, I think it was just a mixture of hype and just kind of going out there and throwing yourself out
Yeah.
somewhere random
Yeah.
instead of being at an actual track, actual event, and actually having style in there and stuff.
It's sick. I like it.
Definitely made us need to get some wider angle for the front. For him especially, he was just getting so much angle, and he would have been able to get more, but the car just wouldn't let him. If he was to get more angle, he would have spun out.
There were multiple times where I was just standing on the lock, on the steering lock.
And there was just
And that was
nothing
it.
we could
That
do
was
other
it.
than
I just let off gas.
Yeah,
and
other than
that's
letting
the
off the
difference
power,
over.
that was
I
it.
washed out quite a few times because of that.
Yeah.
You know?
I didn't stand on the locks nearly as much as you, but like we said on the way back, I'm more of a conservative driver and you're more of an aggressive driver.
Yeah.
First time back on the track, he's like the 3rd or 4th car on the track of the day. And first corner comes up, we didn't even do a parade lap, just freaking goes, rah, just into it, bro. Just instantly
Even
into
limited.
it. And
Even
I was scared. I was genuinely scared
Even limited
because
is so fun in
you
that car
hadn't
now.
drifted in 4 months.
Well, here we go. First round. Yeah, boy! Oh my god! Oh my god! Alright, slow down! Holy shit, Quinn!
You just sent it. You just full sent, you know?
About it.
And I was almost dropping a turd like 10 times. And I really had to go that morning. I didn't take my morning deuce, so I, genuinely almost dropped a log.
Oh my god.
At the end of the day, he's like, did I scare you? And I was like, no, not at all.
You were scared at the beginning. You were saying that on camera.
Yeah, I was. I was genuinely scared because I thought you were gonna break the car. Not that we were gonna be in any danger. I thought you were gonna break the car first hour in.
Oh my god, that thing didn't run hot at all.
Yeah.
We
we
put
put water
water
wetter in it. I had recommended it earlier in the week. I was like, hey, do you want to get some water wetter? He's like, I'm about it. You know, what benefits does it have? And I'm like, well, it claims to give you 20 Fahrenheit or 20 degrees less.
I don't know if I believe that.
I don't know, but 95 degrees consistently all day. I think it hit like 98 at one point. It did not go hotter than any day at Adams.
That car has never really ran hot before though, so I didn't.
Yeah,
really.
we did rebuild the cooling system.
Yeah, but it's got a used radiator in it.
That's true.
And a used loader hose and no fan throw.
Yeah, no fan. We didn't have to use the auxiliary fan that we had wired up.
I need to do that again. That was not a very good job.
I think some of your cons were that you were just a little bit. You were looking at my at least for the first corner, you were looking at me and being like, I want to do that, and you just would get it a little bit, and then you just wouldn't, or you.
I got it a couple of times really good. So what I wanted to work on going into this event was getting the first corner down, and I got it down a couple of times, but the rest of the times were just ugly messes of I don't know what I was doing. But when I got it, I got a admit.
So my thing with the first corner at Grange is learning how to do it in sections. So go into it, make sure you get the hairpin. If you're good at the hairpin, start doing a drag. You're good at the drag, clutch kick it, drag, you know, drop it again into the hairpin. And then you just continuously do that farther back.
I was trying to mon.
And then I ended up starting to get manjiing at the beginning. There's a couple times where I manjied, at least when I wasn't with you. I feel like I do better when I'm on my own, but I enjoy your company in the car.
Yeah.
Which I'd rather be driving with someone in the car and sucking ass than being really good and not driving with someone, because I just being able to look over and say, how was that? And you're like, that's fucking sick. It just feels good.
Yeah.
It just feels good.
That was not my technique for learning the first corner. I just went in and manji clutch kicked the shit out of it.
There was
I made it.
There was
a couple times I got it.
There is one point in the event that Quinn asked me, he's like, how do you do it? And I was like, this is what I do. And then I told him exactly what I do, and he fucking did it perfectly.
What?
Perfect execution. I told you exactly what I do, and you did it, and it was mint.
The thing is I had gotten it with that technique before. That was one of the.
But I think if you're not actually, if not either hearing it or saying it out loud, it kind of gets jumbled in your head when you're going into it.
That's fair.
It happens to me all the time. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna e-brake. I'm like, wait, I need the clutch kick first. You know what I mean? Sometimes that happens. It happens. Drifting is so unnatural as a sport. It's just, it doesn't make sense to turn left when you're going right. You know what I mean? It doesn't make sense. It does when you're drifting. No, when you're drifting. But I'm saying, as a normal driver, I go tell my mom, hey mom, turn right to go left. She's gonna go right and die. It's just unnatural.
That's fair.
Drifting is just unnatural. As if you were to go into it not knowing what you're doing, you're not gonna drift.
Yes.
If you have no idea what you're doing and no one tells you anything, you're gonna try and do it, and the only way you're gonna do it, Alex. Yes. It's nice to have seen our progress over the last 9 months and going. I think that we could have been better.
We're gonna do a like drifting 1 year video. I'm about that.
Yeah, let's do it. I think driving for having driven 9 months, we did pretty good.
I didn't think we were gonna be going to events this big that soon.
It's your fault we went. You're the one who told me, and I was like, yes.
That's fair.
Yes?
I don't know if we should go to this event.
But I'm like, dude, we're going.
There
Yeah,
are
I
some
know you were
crazy
scared.
people there.
Dude, but it was great. I had a great time.
It was a good time.
We didn't
It was a
die.
good time.
No one died because
I
of
thought it was
us.
gonna be worse.
I mean, a guy got mad at you because you spun out in front of him, but that's okay. We got it on camera. Looked dope.
Holy shit!
He drifted around me.
He literally, yeah.
Was
That
I
was
backing up or spinning out still? I think
you were backing up. You spun out and were backing up, and as you were backing up, he was and he looks at you while he's going around us.
Was he mad dogging me? He
Oh
probably
yeah,
was.
100%. That's why I was like, he's mad.
E-brake's not working!
Gotta kick it harder. So the event itself was really cool. There were a lot of people. It took us a little while to get situated, but it was sick. We had the Suburban there, we had the trailer, you brought your pop-up, which was super nice. We had a little spot in the back. There were a lot of really freaking gnarly cars out there. Was it a Dodge parked next to us that had like a 4-car trailer with a whole bunch
Yeah,
of
it was a big Dodge. It was a Cummins, and he had
sick.
3 or 4 drift cars on it. They were all black, super stanced.
Yeah.
They were really clean. I think there was like a 240 and maybe a couple 240s.
I think they were mostly 240s. I don't know if
I feel like there was like some other kind of gnarly car.
Yeah, they were definitely a drift team. I don't know which one. A lot of people there doing some really cool stuff. Even like media, they had a lot of media guys out on track and a lot of drone footage. There were a couple of pretty sick shots of us driving. I don't know if there are any more. I haven't seen any more yet. You found the ones on Instagram.
I found a couple on Instagram. I don't know if there's any more. I messaged one of the guys, and he only had 2 pictures of us. That one that we have, and then another one where we're just driving through the pits.
Yeah, they had drones that had like smoke screens behind them, so you could see them flying around. And it was sick. And it was even just cool watching the drones fly around, because there would be dudes who would like top a third, like full on reverse entry to the first corner, and the drone would like come flying down and just tail them. It was pretty sick.
Just so many experienced drivers and inexperienced drivers. It was just a lot, and there was a ton of spectators, which was really gnarly. I wasn't expecting that many spectators.
Agreed.
But it was cool because, we got to talk to a few of them. They're like, yeah, we've never been to a drift event. I'm here with my friend, whatever. They got a car. I would love to be in there and, drive or whatever, learn to drive. I think this is really cool. And I met people that were like, I've never even seen drifting. And it's
We
crazy.
gave ride-alongs.
And we gave some ride-alongs.
We gave 2 kids ride-alongs.
Dog shit.
us drivers to do it, but it was fun. They had a sick time.
They were highly inexperienced in just the scene.
Yeah, so,
and we showed them the best time that they could possibly have that we could give them.
Yeah, so if you've never been in a drift car or have never drifted before, the first time you go in a drift car is like extremely overwhelming, even if you're not like good at driving. Like when we first started drifting, me and him sucked, but it was like really freaking overwhelming because like going fast on the street is one thing.
Going fast sideways around the corner is...
like Rip, before I'd gone drifting, we'd just like played around on the streets, and going fast in corners and, you know, in straightaways like bombing Palomar Mountain is not nearly as dramatic as drifting, because when you're drifting, you're going sideways, you're banging off a limiter, it's loud, you're going fast, the street's not where it usually is, and so it's just like, it's a lot to take in.
Especially when you go off. Now that we're used to it,
the first couple of drift events at Adams, like the first corner would be gone and be done in like a second.
Yeah.
Because it just goes so fast, and the more we started driving, the more it kind of slowed down to be able to articulate and pick apart our lines and all that stuff.
But just going into it, like when you go at Adams, you go to the first corner and they say go and you're there, and then it's done, and you're like, I didn't do anything. I suck. I did terrible. I didn't drift. I didn't even. I understeered the whole time. It happens, you know. But once, like he said, once you just time and time again, you just start to get better, and it starts to slow down. You start to be able to see your line and feel it. Like that's the thing at Adams that I don't have is a line. I don't have a line because
you know. Yeah.
We went to Grange. The last two times we went to Grange. Well, so the last two events we went to Grange.
Yes.
I didn't get an actual line until the first time at Grange. 15 events, 14 events at Adams, never got a line. Tried to get a line, just couldn't replicate it each time.
Yeah.
I've
had the same line since the first event.
Well, I had the same areas where I do certain things, but I just never got it. And I think it's because Adams, it's a nice track and all, but there's so much downtime between. You have so much time to think about what you're supposed to do, and it just never comes out. For me.
For you.
At Grange,
we
just keep going and going. I want to go to Adams.
You need to have drift nights again on Saturdays.
I can't say I don't have a line. I just don't have a consistent line because the events are just so short. Or
yeah, that's fair.
It's not like Grange where you just go around the track until your tires are slain.
Dude, it's like $500 to rent Grange for a weekday.
I know, and it's how much for Adams? $750?
I think it's 500 for 4 hours.
Or yeah, 500 4 hours, 5 drivers.
Yeah.
But we should do Grange. I'm saying we should do Grange.
We should rent a track.
We should rent a track.
We should rent a track at some point in the future.
We should rent a track multiple times.
After we get
multiple tracks.
After we get the other sauce going.
Yeah, we got some sauce coming for you guys. You don't know about it yet. You're gonna be happy. I enjoyed myself at Grange. It was, I think, by far out of the 23 years I've been on this earth, is the best 4th of July I've ever had.
I would agree with that. It was a good time.
It was super fun, and I'm really happy that we went.
We were the 4th on track, 3rd or 4th on track,
and we were like the 6th
to get off. Yeah, so we were pretty much driving pretty much all
well,
day.
There was 6 more drivers that got off after us. So we started first lap. You were in the first lap. Someone went on, and you know there was like 3 cars in front of you. They weren't even done with their first lap by the time we got on the track.
Yeah.
And then at the end of the day, the only reason we got off was because one of the tires delaminated.
Yeah, you were the last one driving.
I was the last. You were the first to drive, but I was the last to drive.
Yeah.
So it was kind of a fair trade-off. You know
yeah,
what I mean?
That's fair. Andy Sled Day. Sick.
I think my biggest thing is learning how to be smoother on my Mangis and transitions, especially at Grange, because there's just so many transitions to do in one lap. I need to get better at that. Towards the end of the day, I was getting really good, but I just suck at every event at the beginning.
That's kind of how it is every time, though. At least for me and for you.
Yeah, it's just
like all the good footage is in like the second half of the day driving.
Yeah,
I need to get better at filming not us driving, because when I come back from events like that, Like I kind of came back and I had like 7 or 8 shots of other cars, and then it was just all us driving. So I need to get better at filming the venue. Filming the venue.
We also got to. I want to get some sort of stability control for a camera. Because it was.
I need to get more batteries for this camera. That's the main
It was
thing.
very hard. It was very hard for me to hit you with a sniper scope.
Yeah. So Danny brought his long range camera, and some of the footage is like.
And that's not because I'm wiggling, it's because it's just such a far shot that any small movement in the camera was just too much.
Yeah.
But
Andy Sled Day. Sick.
Super sick. The best that we've been to.
Bye.
Tell us what you guys want to know. Tell us what you guys want to see. We're about it. Hit the comment section. Thanks for watching. We out here with a convoy.
This is the main reason I brought a trailer, is because this dirt road is horrible and we're doing 20 right now. Last time we were out here at Grange, I was doing literally like 3 or 4 miles an hour in the Cheeto, because it's just such a rough car to drive on a road like this because it's so stiff.
Yeah.
And AC, which is nice.
Expectations for the day.
A dirty Cheeto.
Dirty Cheeto.
A lot of sending. Way faster, bro.
Yeah, I can see that. I don't like how you enter the first corner. I like the way I do it.
I'm still figuring that out. I still don't know how to hit that right. And so it always is kind of garbage.
E-brake, clutch kick, E-brake. Drop it again.
shaving cream. Hold on. You gotta like give it a second though, because it's supposed to be like an intermission.
Yeah.